This book is a Pulitzer Prize-winning work. Most people are familiar with the Pulitzer Prize. It's America's highest journalistic honor, often called the Nobel Prize of Journalism. The Emperor of All Maladies tells the story of cancer with a strong focus on science communication, making its journalism award particularly remarkable. What makes this book extraordinary is how the author steps outside the medical framework to examine cancer from social and human development perspectives. The humanitarian concern throughout the text leaves a profound impression. As Susan Sontag noted, this book personifies cancer as a character with its own biography. The past view of cancer as merely a disease or enemy seems too simplistic. The author systematically traces the American medical community's and society's thoughts and actions regarding cancer, using its discovery and treatment as a narrative thread. The significance extends far beyond the fight against cancer itself. Though we're reluctant to admit it, cancer has become increasingly prevalent in today's society. Beyond the high cancer rates among the elderly, cases among young and middle-aged adults are no longer surprising. Cancer in younger people has a peculiar characteristic. They often seem perfectly healthy and well-rested before suddenly being diagnosed. The psychological impact of cancer can be even more devastating than the physical decline. Mukherjee wrote this book to help people understand three fundamental questions before cancer strikes, to fight it correctly. First, where does cancer come from? Second, how should cancer be treated? Third, how should we face cancer? The author, Siddhartha Mukherjee, is an undisputed academic achiever. After his undergraduate studies, he won the Rhodes Scholarship to Oxford University. The Rhodes Scholarship, which only opened to Chinese students in 2015, is nicknamed the Nobel Prize for Undergraduates and is considered the world's most competitive scholarship, selecting only 80 outstanding undergraduates annually for study at Oxford. After earning his PhD from Oxford, he went on to Harvard Medical School, becoming a double doctor in philosophy and medicine. When he decided to write this book, his role had evolved further. He was both a professor at Columbia Medical School with his own laboratory, publishing regularly in top journals, and an oncologist working on the front lines of cancer treatment, witnessing countless patient stories of joy and sorrow. Many believe cancer is a modern disease. Since the 19th century, there's been a popular notion that cancer is a recent ailment caused by civilization's progress, industrial development, and our fast-paced lifestyle. However, this belief lacks scientific foundation. In fact, cancer was documented as early as 1600 BCE. Throughout history, factors like human life expectancy, early cancer detection capabilities, and varying cancer type incidence rates meant cancer received less attention. Just 2 centuries ago, cancer seemed less frightening than syphilis or tuberculosis. Cancer is strongly age-related, with risk increasing exponentially with age. For breast cancer, the ratio is 1 in 400 for women around 30, but 1 in 9 for women around 70. In 2003, human cancer genome sequencing provided the definitive answer. Cancer exists naturally in our genome, waiting to be activated. Each cancer patient's disease is unique because their cancer genome is unique. To summarize, normal cells are all alike, but each abnormal cell is abnormal in its own way. From a biological perspective, cancer isn't really a disease in the conventional sense. While we typically view illness negatively, as something that weakens an otherwise healthy person both physically and mentally, acting as an obstacle to self-improvement, cancer is different. Cancer represents a better version of ourselves biologically, as cancer cells grow faster and adapt better than normal cells. Left unchecked, cancer would eventually replace the original you with a new, more powerful version. Cancer is essentially an ancient genetic disease. What we commonly call cancer refers to all malignant tumors. Everyone carries the risk of developing cancer, with age and lifestyle habits significantly influencing its onset. Once the cancer genes hidden in the human body are activated, cancer cells multiply uncontrollably, eventually forming malignant tumors. These tumors grow rapidly, consuming normal cells, damaging organs, and ultimately leading to death. Throughout the long journey of cancer research, doctors have tried various methods, with 3 ultimately proving effective: radiation therapy, surgery, and chemotherapy. Radiation therapy was the first method developed for treating cancer. It was first used in 1896 when a medical student treated a patient with recurrent breast cancer using X-rays. The treatment lasted 18 days, with daily radiation sessions. Although the tumor showed signs of shrinking and ulceration, the patient ultimately succumbed to metastatic disease. This early attempt revealed a crucial limitation. X-rays were only effective against localized tumors, not metastatic cancer. In 1902, the Curie's discovery of radium revolutionized cancer treatment, leading to widespread enthusiasm among surgeons. Radium was even directly implanted into tumors to deliver higher doses of radiation. The theoretical basis was that X-rays preferentially kill rapidly dividing cells, which cancer cells typically are. However, radiation therapy proved to be a double-edged sword. Besides its ineffectiveness against metastatic cancer, radiation could cause cancer itself. The pioneer who introduced X-ray therapy suffered severe consequences from radiation exposure. By the mid-1940s, he had to have his fingers amputated due to bone necrosis, and his face was disfigured from multiple surgeries to remove tumors. When he died in 1960, cancer had spread throughout his body. Given these limitations, doctors turned to radical surgery. Early breast cancer treatment involved only removing the tumor site, but by the 1950s, radical mastectomy became the preferred approach. This extensive surgery removed not only the breast but also chest muscles, lymph nodes, and sometimes even ribs and parts of the sternum. Despite its devastating impact on patients' lives, many desperately sought this treatment hoping for a cure. In 1981, a comparative study changed the understanding of surgical treatment. The study compared three approaches: radical mastectomy, simple mastectomy, and surgery combined with radiation therapy. Surprisingly, all three methods showed statistically similar results in terms of recurrence, mortality, and metastasis rates. The third method, chemotherapy, saw a breakthrough with Dr. Min-Chiu Lee's work on choriocarcinoma in the 1950s. His insistence on continuing treatment until all traces of the disease disappeared, measured by HCG levels, initially cost him his position at the National Cancer Institute. However, his approach was later vindicated when patients treated with his protocol showed no recurrence, while those who stopped treatment early relapsed. Today, we understand that cancer is inherent in our genetic makeup, waiting to be activated. It requires multiple mutations in both oncogenes, the accelerator, and tumor suppressor genes, the brake, to develop. While everyone carries this potential, the probability of developing cancer depends largely on age and lifestyle factors. The relationship between humans and cancer is complex. Rather than focusing solely on eliminating death, the goal has shifted to extending life and improving its quality for cancer patients. This represents the true victory in humanity's battle against cancer. The key to fighting cancer lies in preventing cell mutations or eliminating mutated cells without harming healthy ones. While cancer might be an inevitable part of human existence, understanding it better helps us develop more effective treatments and improve patients' quality of life. The journey from discovering cancer to understanding it, and then investing substantial resources in cancer research, has been challenging. Every small advancement in cancer knowledge represents the dedication of countless individuals. Like Dr. Li Mingjiu, whom we mentioned earlier, some have devoted their entire careers to this cause. In this book, we see how scientific research exists within the broader context of social development. Critical moments in social progress have influenced the fate of every doctor, researcher, patient, and the history of cancer itself. Cancer is a unique disease that should be viewed through the lens of human civilization's development. Though an individual's life may seem insignificant, the persistent efforts of generations, despite uncertain outcomes, to explore and make new discoveries demonstrate humanity's unique wisdom and emotional depth. The Emperor of All Maladies tells us everything about cancer. It's a genetic disease characterized by uncontrolled cell proliferation caused by extremely rare genetic mutations. Everyone faces the risk of developing cancer, with the probability closely linked to age and lifestyle habits. The older we get and the more unhealthy our lifestyle, the higher the risk becomes. The key to cancer prevention lies in either preventing mutation in susceptible cells or eliminating mutated cells without harming healthy ones. The three main current treatment methods are radiation therapy, surgery, and chemotherapy. However, cancer cell development isn't simply clonal. Each generation of cancer cells becomes stronger and more drug-resistant than the last. Therefore, complete cure of cancer remains extremely challenging with current medical capabilities. Nevertheless, modern medicine continues to focus on improving cancer patients' quality of life, working to minimize cancer's physical impact and extend patients' lifespans.